We don't torture people.
Khalid Sheikh Mohammed.
We don't torture people.
Waterboarding.
We do not. I don't talk about techniques, and we don't torture people. Now listen to me. I want you to listen to me.
America and our friends will meet this threat with every method at our disposal.
We also have to work sort of the dark side, if you will.
All of a sudden, FBI officials came and started interrogating me.
The FBI showed up at my house. You're forced to strip down to absolutely nothing, handcuffs in the front.
Almost immediately thereafter, I was then accused of being a terrorist spy.
So what's the deal? I mean, haven't you been reading the papers recently? Everything's fine now.
Right, everything's fine now. Well, I've certainly been reading the papers, and it's tempting to think this is archival, this issue, you know, that we've dealt with it because Obama is president. And so we can sort of go back to internet shopping now and, you know, take a long nap. But that would be very stupid and also, I think, very unpatriotic. And also not truly in our own interest if we care about our kids growing up in a free society. It's great, you know, that Obama is president because he's a constitutional scholar, and I believe that he does not want to form the foundations of a police state. But all of the economic drivers that pressed acceptance of the kinds of subversions of liberties and the kind of structural assembly of the foundations of the police state are still there. There are billions of dollars to be made in shredding the Constitution and no money to be made in supporting it. And so what Obama is inheriting is, first of all, none of those laws have been repealed. So it's going to take grassroots effort on the part of us to drive him and drive Congress to repeal them. Right now, Obama is inheriting the ability to wiretap American citizens at will. He's inheriting Guantanamo, and there are trial balloons being floated, not formally from his campaign, but they're not swatting them down, that, oh, maybe they should have military tribunals here in the U.S., military tribunals light, or maybe they should let CIA go beyond the Army field manual, torture light, as long as there's oversight. And the pressures that I described, which is the third of the economy, which had been building Cold War weapon systems, and in the wake of the end of the Cold War, shifted to surveillance and security technologies, and their lobbyists sit down with Homeland Security, they have billions of dollars at stake in pressuring Obama and Congress to continue to create a surveillance state, to continue to create policies and establish and build a Homeland Security that isn't going away, that has an economic benefit to them of subverting our liberties.
You talked before about this being a cancer. What for you will be the signs that the cancer is in remission, that we can stand down?
Yeah. Well, you know what, we'll never be able to stand down, because now that I've done the reading I did for Give Me Liberty, which is the sequel to The End of America, which is the founding generation's wishes of the kind of psychology they want us to have. Now I know that there's no end to the vigilance we are supposed to carry in our hearts as Americans for liberty. So the fight's never going to be over. How do I know that cancer will be cured, you know, that we'll be a healthy republic again? I think a very important sign will be prosecutions and people going to jail. And Nick Kristof of the New York Times has also proposed a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to investigate and expose the crimes. Ben Weisner last night of the ACLU talked about the power of truth, the power of documentation, airing out not just the torture, but the subversion of the rule of law. You know, that the destruction of evidence, the disappearances of the emails, the disappearances of the tapes, airing out the perversions of the law that are now secret that the Bush administration is engaged in, exposing those. A producer of Frontline who did Bush's War and Cheney's Law, said that there are laws that have been embedded by the Bush administration so deeply and so secretively that they're like ticking time bombs waiting to explode in the future. And that's the kind of exposure we need to engage in, the kind of really investigation, digging deep we need to engage in order to restore ourselves to health. And passing those laws to heal the Constitution. I think those three things.
rights. You are violating now.
Sir, I want to talk to you.
Do not
arrest me.
Your rights, sir.
Go right there. You're under arrest. Stay right there. Back up. Back up.
They don't have to watch every one of us for every one of us to be afraid they might be.
There could be ricochets. This is war.
Democracy is fragile, and it's tyranny that's the default.
A society that is willing to give up a little liberty to secure a little security deserves neither and will lose both.
Preventing mass terror will be the responsibilities of presidents far into the future.